right, we're live here. We're live there. We're live everywhere. Good afternoon. This is Roman Shersher, your #1 online resource for buying property, with this week's edition of Buy, Invest, Sell, a broker's formula for real estate success. It's February 20th, 2026. We're almost done with the second month of this year. Crazy, 2026. Today we're going to be going over a few things. Number one, pending home sales drop even more nationally. We're pretty flat in California. I'll give you the exact statistics. National Association of Realtors explains that people aren't moving. This is a conundrum that they are going to explain, and we're going to tie that in with today's rates, which actually just slipped again for most loan types. And then we'll talk about January sales and prices and how they softened here in California. All right, please guys, remember, if you like the video, share it on social, tap the like button, share it with your friends and family. Our likes are blowing up. Really appreciate all of the attention. Hit me up on anywhere. If you'd like a copy of my ebook, it's a free copy on tips and tricks that I've used to buy hundreds of properties at this point nationwide. I'll key you in on some of the best techniques that volume buyers like myself use to save tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars on properties. And we do this. I buy a couple of them a month. So I'd love to share that with you. No obligation. Just hit me up. Let me know you want it, and I'll send you the ebook for free. Also, if you're watching on Instagram, head over to Facebook or YouTube. You'll get copies to the links in the articles where we get this information. Remember, I do not give you opinion unless I specifically preface it as such. We use raw data compiled by economists, National Association of Realtors, California Association of Realtors, the authorities in the real estate industry to bring you the data on what's going on. I can't tell you how many times people told me, real estate market is going to crash. Half of the value is going to be gone. This price, I'm going to buy it for half off. Not even 1 year has it seriously declined. We are now seeing some inklings of decline, and it's due to rates being high, supply being low, as well as demand being low. And so we're seeing a little bit, a shaving of 2%. Here and there in different markets here in LA, but nowhere near the 50% that the opinion and hyperbole and craziness that I heard. All right, let's talk about our current projects. We got a Jacksonville property we're picking up right now. It's on a whole acre, 3-bedroom. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. I have room there to put in 2 more bedrooms. I don't know. I'm going to keep one a Florida room, probably add another bedroom. Awesome project. Very excited. I was going to put this into our rental portfolio and hold on to it as a rental, but it's just now recently got added to a flood zone distinction. And so, boom, insurances are higher, harder to sell, and honestly, we came close. I had a flood property, came really close to getting flooded during a hurricane. Luckily, knock on wood, Jacksonville is a great market for that, but even still, not going to put it in the rental portfolio, going to renovate it, going to flip it, going to make money on it. All right, we just hit the market last week, 2 weeks ago, we hit the market with a flip. We did a beautiful 4-bedroom, it was a 3-2, we turned it into a 4-2. Took a video, shared it on social when we were there last, put it on the market, $10,000 over where we thought we would be. We are within the first weekend, we had multiple offers. We're right now in escrow to sell it. Going to close in about 3 weeks. What else? We got another one we're renovating right now. 2 we're actually renovating right now. So excited. They're going to come to hit the market shortly. And here in Los Angeles, we have a few leases, beautiful high-end luxury leases that we're working with. So if you are in the market for that, or if you have a property that you need to get leased, we are right now, we just registered with all of the major insurance companies to be in the midterm rental space. And we have a number of properties right now. We're using this midterm rental vehicle to put properties into rentals short term. As you guys know, we have Olympics coming up. We have FIFA coming up. It's a really good time to own a property and get rental income in California and Los Angeles specifically. All right, let's get into our topics for this week. Really good ones. Let me go ahead and share the screen. Hopefully we'll not have any technical difficulties as we've experienced in the past a couple of times. All right. Beautiful. All right. National Association of Realtors reports pending home sales have decreased last month. Last month was a very slow month. Additionally, on top of the slow month we had in December, and November was slow too. And we saw a decrease in pending home sales across the country, but mostly those declines were in the Northeast and Midwest. We had some really bad storms this last couple of months. Very cold weather, and that has definitely affected our sales numbers. But over in the West and in the South, no, in the Midwest and the West, we actually saw an increase. So in the West, we saw a 4.3% increase month over month and a 0.3% increase year over year. So basically flat. We had a flat year last year, and it was an anemic year. It was almost half of the typical transactional volume that we do nationwide. It was almost half because these rates are high. People are not feeling comfortable. Affordability is low. Prices are still high. And so a lot of people are still sitting on the sidelines, but we're seeing seeing some activity. I'm getting a lot more calls now of people actually coming and talking and hey, I'm thinking about it. I don't know what there is to think about. There's some great deals out there. We're getting fantastic deals for our buyer clients. I'll tell you about that in a second. All right, out of the top 10 markets, California, specifically San Diego, Chula Vista, and Carlsbad, saw the 8th largest increase in month-over-month sales of 7.5% in January. We, of course, didn't experience the big storms like they did out in the Northeast. And so there was there was some movement out here as well. You can take a look at this article and you'll see Phoenix had the highest gain in sales. Miami had the 10th highest gain in sales. Southern California, only San Diego at number 8. And also San Francisco, Oakland, Fremont saw almost a 9% increase in sales as well. So we're starting to see more activity in some of these markets, just not the Northeast and not the South. That was kind of weak. Jacksonville, however, where I'm located, doing just fine. Last couple of properties that we put out hit the market. They were in good condition, of course. We do good jobs out there. Put good properties out on the market. We were in escrow with multiple offers in the first weekend. So I'm not seeing the slowdown that people are talking about in Florida, at least not in my neck of the woods. Let's take a look at this. California, specifically California, what happened this last month in January? In California, our statewide median price was down month over month from December at 2.6%. Now keep in mind, this is across the whole state. Everything works locally. And in our local market in Southern California, we actually were pretty flat. We were pretty flat and new listings are improving. We think that new listings are going to improve headed into the spring. And if that occurs, your buyers are going to be happier. They're going to have more variety, more selection out there, less desperation. So it's still a very good buyer's market. And we're seeing some prices decline slowly. The overall California's median price, which reached a 23-month low in January, is down 3.2% from December on a year-over-year basis. It's the third time it fell in the last 4 months. So we are seeing some of that slowed down, a little bit of decline, but not like the 50-40% off discounts that I heard when the market started turning a little bit. That was ridiculous. We're just now, after it continued to go up by 8 to 10% over the last few years, now we're seeing 2 to 3% drops. Okay, reasonable and Definitely something we can live with after such increases nationwide. Our affordability is incredibly low, so definitely not seeing any crazy major price drops. We are seeing, though, if you know how to attack this market, you are seeing some great deals. All right, let's continue. People are moving. This is one of the reasons we have such low volume numbers. We have people that are just sitting on the sidelines, okay? Rates are closer to 6%. NAR says that about 5.5 million people, 5.5 million more households, to be exact, now qualify for rates that they did not qualify a year ago for. We were close to 7%, and we even surpassed 7%. Now I'll get into where we are, but we're in the low sixes. And so at these rates, 5.5 million more households qualify, but they're still waiting. Still waiting to see what's going on. And so here's what could happen next. If even 10% of these households jump in, we're going to have 550,000 additional buyers this year, and we should see demand increase. We should see competition come back to the market on the buy side. Now, that sounds great, but we don't have enough supply, so you're actually going to see prices go up significantly. The issue right now is a supply point. There's a choke point to supply, according to National Association of Realtors. They said inventory fell, according to them, inventory fell 0.8% from December, and it's up only 3% year over year. I did one of these where I talked about a lot of sellers, delisting their properties, 18% I think it was, because they weren't getting their prices. And so we don't have an issue where a lot of people are in foreclosure. We don't have a lot of distressed sales. We don't have people that have to sell. There's a ton of equity out there. And so the people that can't get their price are just pulling their properties off the market. So we're seeing a decline in supply as a result. And foreclosures, distressed properties are a major factor to huge price declines, and we don't have any. Yeah, you hear stories, 30%, 30% from 30% increase in foreclosures, but we had less than 1% foreclosure rate. So great, now we're at 1% foreclosure rate. You're talking about 100, 200 houses across all of Los Angeles. You're not going to see major price movement as a result. So if demand returns faster than listings, prices will continue to accelerate. Okay? So if those 550,000 buyers come to market and we don't see an increase in supply, you're going to see a lot more competition, which is why I keep saying, now's the time. Don't wait until everyone else comes to the market. Go now. The prices and the deals we're getting for our buyers, tremendous. Tremendous. Okay. Let's move on. Let's take a look at our rates. Our rates have come down further. Our 30-year fixed is 6.04%. In the last 2 weeks, it went from 6.15 to it's now 6.04. So another 11 basis points we've come down. Our 15-year fixed, it was 5.72. We're at 5.6. Our FHA was at 6.33. It was at 5.75, our FHA. Now it's at 5.63, 12 basis points. Our jumbo was at 6.33. It's dropped another 5 basis points to 6.28. Great rate for a jumbo loan. In comparison, of course, obviously. Our VA is now 5.65. It was 5.77, another 12 basis points. Okay. Rates are great. We're right around 6. I think we're going to fall to 6, fall below 6. We're going to see what the Fed does next, but it could bring rates down significantly further. And if our rates come down further, buyers get introduced, you're going to have less deals out of the market, but we have great deals right now. Talk to me about these deals and how to get even better deals. What I'm seeing a lot of are credits. You may not get the price to come down, but you're getting a ton thrown in. Boats. I heard somebody got a boat thrown in last week in Florida. Yeah, that's what's happening, because when you got a buyer who's been on the market for a long time and they want to get rid of it, a seller that wants to get rid of it, concessions and throw-ins occur. All right, quote of the day, but by Peter Drucker. He's a management thinker who shaped how modern companies track performance and make decisions. His quote is this: "What gets measured gets managed." In real estate terms, winners track the boring stuff. Okay, they track days on market. We track supply. We track price cuts, inventory, payment math. We track all of that. That's what we do. Those that are in this business that know how to properly buy these properties. Remember those tips and tricks book, the ebook that I could send you. I talk about exactly the metrics that we look at, such as this, in the local markets that we purchase in. Because honestly, the market doesn't care about our feelings, okay? They care, it's raw data that drives and shapes the markets. It cares about measurable reality. So once again, Peter Drucker, what gets measured gets managed, okay? All right, this week's takeaway: contracts dipped again. California cooled month to month. Rates got a little friendlier. Looking good right now, those rates. We're going to slide below 6 shortly. Smartest move is to watch supply, negotiate like a grown-up. We're getting great deals we're getting out there. Talk to us about how we can help you sell your house and keep as much as we can. If you're a buyer, that's where our magic is occurring right now. All right, I appreciate you spending the time with us. This is Roman ShareShare, your #1 online resource for buying property. Have a great weekend.